Hello everyone and welcome. In this video I will build a French-built fighter interceptor Dassault Mirage 2000 from Italeri. Let's see what's inside the box. The box includes 2 sprues from a light grey plastic, 1 sprue from a clear plastic, decals and an instruction manual. Panel lines are a little off scale and in some areas like the radar cone are unnecessary. The clear parts look okay. The instruction manual is simplified and easy to follow. It includes a color guide for Italeri paints. You can build 3 machines, 2 French and 1 from Arab Emirates Air Force. The decals look good, in a good quality, but I think I will go my own way. Alright, let's build this nice jet. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell for not missing any new notifications. During the build, I will use foliage accessories from Edouard. I started with removing the unnecessary plastic details. They will be later replaced with metal ones. Since the plastic is softer, removing the details is not a big problem. For gluing the metal parts, I use Loctite superglue. Before priming, I wash all the metal parts details with a clear alcohol. The cockpit is ready for priming. As usual, I use primer Sulfurs 1000. After the primer is dried out, I airbrush the cockpit with a light grey color. The ejection seat, instrument panel and the side panels are painted matte black. After airbrushing, I quickly switch to a paintbrush and paint all the small details with a combination of Gunze and Vallejo colors. Before I apply a protective glossy varnish coat, I highlight the cockpit details with a light grey and a metallic dry brush. Now I apply a glossy varnish coat. For more highlighted details, I apply a grey and black penelite wash from Tamiya. After 10 minutes, the wash can be removed in ammo thinner. When it's done, I assemble the cockpit parts together and glue it to the fuselage half. Alright, the cockpit is glued in place. Let's glue both fuselage halves together. On the front section of the fuselage I had to use clamps. The fit wasn't the best. Let's continue gluing. I also glued the jet exhaust nozzle and the lower and upper part of the delta wings. Before I glued the air intakes, I had to paint the entrances to the jet turbine with a black color to imitate depth into the fuselage. The instrument panel cover is also a photo etch accessory. I had to bend it into a needed shape and glue it into the fuselage with superglue. Be aware of this step. If you want to upgrade your model with this part, you have to be very careful and do a lot of cutting and dry fitting. The PE part doesn't fit with the front cockpit canopy frame, so be careful. Another problem is the big gap behind the cockpit. It had to be filled up with putty. I also fill up all visible gaps with putty. This model doesn't have any panel line imitating the radar cone. I'm using a masking tape as a lead. For creating the panel line, I use a sharp razor saw. When the radar cone panel line is done, I cover the unnecessary panel line with putty. I let the putty dry out for a few days. Meanwhile, I took a break. When the putty dried out, I sand it down under water with a P800 sandpaper. Let's work on the cockpit canopy details. First, I glue the heads-up display and paint it with clear green. Then, I glue the cockpit canopy frame and mask it with masking tape and liquid mask. Time to upgrade the landing gear. As usual, I upgrade the landing gear with thin lead wires to imitate hydraulics. For gluing the lead wires, I use Loctite superglue. For creating tiny ink labs, I use aluminum foil. The Mirage is ready for the paint job. First, I apply a primer coat. Next, I apply a black pre-shading. The pre-shading is good for highlighting panel lines. Before I start to paint the camouflage, I paint the wheel wells, landing gear and jet exhaust nozzle with metallic paints. For not overpainting the metallic details, I need to mask them properly with masking tape. Almost every modeler is doing a French Mirage. I wanted to do something different. I like to experiment and found a very nice and interesting camouflage of a Peruvian Mirage 2000. I started to paint the model from the bottom side with a light grey color. After I finish with the light grey, I mask the bottom side with masking tape. Next, I switch to the light brown color and painted the radar cone and the upper side of the model. For a clean transition of the camouflage colors, I use the AK masking putty. The masking putty is good to handle. It isn't so greasy and it can be applied very easy. For not overspraying the light brown camouflage color, I mask it with lifting mask. It's much quicker and easier than masking tape. let's apply the second camouflage color. Now I remove the masking. As you can see, it's very easy to remove. The next step is painting small details with a paintbrush. Next, I apply a gloss varnish to protect the camouflage. It also serves as a layer for the decals. I purchased C-Hard decals particularly for this model. The C-Hard decals are excellent. They are very strong and don't tear apart. The decals must be sealed with a layer of glossy varnish. Next, I start to weather the model with a black panel liner. I'm very pleased with this product. It's easy to handle and dries very fast. To remove the unnecessary panel liner, I use a cotton bud soaked in enamel thinner. For more weathered areas, I switch to oil paints. First, I apply an amount of oil paint on the surface. Then, I blend the oil paint with the surface with enamel thinner. This technique is easy and the final result looks good. The same technique is repeated on the bottom side of the model. The enamel thinner dries after 30 minutes. When I'm finished with the weathering, I seal the oil paint with satin varnish. At the very end of the build, I remove the masking from the cockpit canopy frame and glue all necessary parts like the landing gear and the resin fuel tanks with liquid superglue and rubber contactor. With this last step, I call the model finished. I hope you liked this video build. Please subscribe to my channel, like or leave a comment down below. If you're interested to see more of my work, join me on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you for watching and see you next time.